Surgery is a topic that not a lot of us like to talk about, either because we're scared or it's because we have a really weak stomach. Even though surgery can be scary and to some extent gross, it's kind of a topic that's hard to avoid talking about. As we and our families get older, surgery is going to affect us either positively or negatively, and surgery can be a big solution to many medical problems that may arise in the future. From the beginning of surgery, the experience for patients was horrific. From not having any anesthesia to being way past unsanitized, surgery was one of the things that nobody wanted to go through. But today, surgery have some of the most advanced and cutting-edge procedures that have ever taken place. From reading and learning about surgery at a very young age, I was captivated by the idea and the physicality of surgery. And this was something that inspired me most to want to help people when I get older. So today, I'm going to inform you on the events of ancient, middle, and modern day surgery. They're telling you the history of surgery, its origin, and how it has progressed through the years. So, beginning with ancient surgery. Unlike surgical procedures today, most surgical operations throughout human history were horrifically painful, dangerous, and deadly. According to Surgery, A Violent Profession, an article written by Ariella Clooney, she states that the history of surgery dates back to the early Neolithic and preclassical ages. The first surgical practice that was ever done was known as trephining, also better described as cutting a small hole into the skull. This was used to treat migraines and allowed to relieve pressure off of the brain, giving the brain more room to swell. This is what trephining looked like back then. Most surgical procedures were often widespread throughout Europe, Africa, South America, and some parts of ancient Egypt where the practice of trephining was adopted. Most surgical practices during this time were not for the sake of health, but more for religious and ritual purposes. The ancient Greeks also performed a variety of surgeries, such as setting broken bones, bloodletting, draining the lungs, this is mainly for patients with pneumonia, and amputations. The thing that set the Greeks apart from everybody else was that they had advanced iron tools that made surgery much more efficient, but however, not less deadly. The ancient Romans continued to practice of trephining and amputations, but the Romans began the new practice of eye surgery. Moving on to events of middle-aged surgery. Throughout the years, surgery and medicine had advanced very little until the field experienced a drastic change all at once. This was because of the emergence of the barber surgeon. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, barber surgeons were surgeons who would travel to different destinations to perform minor procedures, such as tooth extraction, bloodletting, and the treatment of war wounds. Becoming educated. Being educated in surgery or medical school was very different than how it is today. Back then, they were educated by observations and apprenticeships. During this time, surgery was still being practiced without anesthesia, being very deadly, dangerous, and again, very painful. Women were even allowed to perform certain surgical procedures until the 1700s when surgical study landed in the arms of university training. Now to modern day surgery. By the 1940s, surgery was finally deemed relatively safe. Heavy contributors to this were penicillin, blood transfusions, and antibiotics. Because of these, surgery was allowed to take an even greater step into improving to what it is today. The first successful kidney transplant was performed in 1953, and a few short years after 1953, doctors were able to successfully reattach a severed arm. Throughout the latter part of the 20th century, surgical procedures like eye surgery, heart transplants, and cochlear implants that allowed the deaf to hear improved into even greater things that we have today. Today, surgeons are performing procedures such as full face transplants, using lasers for minimally invasive brain surgeries to help treat brain cancers. And because of today's advanced technology, surgeons are even able to transplant entire limbs. So today, I have talked about the events of ancient, middle, and modern day surgery. And from exploring the development and advancement of surgery, I hope you have a better understanding of why it was created and how it has affected many people throughout human history. I also hope that you take this information and educate your friends and family, and that you take into account that the amount of surgical procedures that take place today and how many people are affected.